The next up, the 2003 quarter dollar so special is not just the sheer variety of designs representing states like Illinois, Alabama, Missouri, Arkansas, and Maine, but also the fact that a handful of these coins were struck with errors or produced in extremely limited numbers that have made them highly sought after by collectors. The most expensive examples of 2003 quarters are those that feature minting mistakes like double die errors, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet, and these rarities have crossed the auction block for thousands of dollars. To make this story even more exciting, many numismatists compare the rarity and desirability of these quarters with one of the most legendary coins from the 19th century, the 1836 Gobrecht dollar, which marked a turning point in U.S. coin design and inspired later motifs seen on silver coinage, including the evolution of the quarter. When we talk about the highest prices ever realized, one of the 2003 Missouri quarters with a dramatic double strike sold for well over $3,000 in a public auction, and a few examples graded MS-69 by PCGS or NGC have been known to bring thousands more, because high-grade state quarters are much harder to find than most people realize. This is why serious collectors pay attention not just to the design, but also to the quality of the strike, the luster, and whether the coin has been preserved without scratches or wear. It is almost like holding a small piece of American history in your hand, because the 2003 quarters celebrated the unique identity of each state, just as the 1836 Gobrecht dollars symbolized a new era of freedom and innovation in coinage. Imagine owning a coin that left the mint floor with a rare error, survived for decades without damage, and now tells a story of scarcity, beauty, and the thrill of discovery. This is why people are willing to spend big money to add one to their collection. Collectors also love to compare different mint marks from Philadelphia and Denver to see which ones have lower populations and top grades. And many coin experts advise that even a circulated 2003 quarter can be worth holding if it shows something unusual like a partial collar strike, a missing clad layer, or a dramatic die crack. For coin hunters, the joy comes from searching rolls of quarters from the bank and suddenly spotting something different. That rush of excitement is what turns an ordinary day into a historic find. Some of the rarest 2003 quarters even carry satin finishes from special mint sets, and those in pristine condition can be worth significantly more than face value. When these coins go to auction, competitive bidding can drive prices sky high, sometimes exceeding the expectations of even the most seasoned collectors. Over time, the value of these coins tends to increase, especially as more people join the hobby and realize that these state quarters are not just everyday change but miniature works of art that tell the story of America. The connection to early U.S. coins, like the 1836 pieces, reminds collectors that coinage has always been about more than money. It is about history, culture, and preserving the legacy of a nation. If you have a 2003 quarter in your pocket right now, take a closer look at it under good light, check the mint mark, and examine it for errors, because you never know if you are holding a hidden treasure. Whether it is the Missouri quarter with the Gateway Arch, the Illinois quarter featuring Abraham Lincoln, or the Alabama quarter honoring Helen Keller, each design has its own appeal, and some rare versions are worth far more than 25 cents. Serious investors and hobbyists alike know that the key to finding the most expensive quarter is knowledge, knowing what to look for, grading the coin accurately, and understanding what makes a coin valuable. The thrill of the hunt, the historical significance, and the potential for profit make the 2003 quarter dollar a fascinating subject for both beginners and advanced collectors. Just like the legendary 1836 coinage that inspired future designs, today's rare quarters remind us that small pieces of metal can carry big stories and even bigger price tags. So next time you get change from a store or a handful of quarters from the bank, take a moment to search carefully, because that one special 2003 quarter might just be the key to starting your own numismatic adventure or adding a priceless gem to your collection. In the world of coin collecting, few pieces capture the imagination like the rare and valuable quarters from the United States Mint. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the top 4 most fascinating coins you might have in your pocket change without even realizing it. The first up, the 2005 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, a 2005 quarter may seem ordinary, just a simple 25-cent piece you could use for a vending machine or parking meter. But hidden among the millions of coins minted that year are some incredibly rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples that have commanded jaw-dropping prices at auctions. Some of these coins, especially those with unique minting mistakes or perfect condition grades, have fetched hundreds and even thousands of dollars. This video will take you on a journey through what makes these quarters so special, why collectors are paying so much for them, and how you might be able to spot one yourself. The year 2005 was special for quarters because it was in the middle of the famous 50-state quarters program, one of the most popular initiatives by the United States Mint that ran from 1999 to 2008. Each year, 5 new designs were released, honoring 5 different states, and 2005 featured California, Minnesota, Oregon, Kansas, and West Virginia. Each of these state quarters has its own charm and its own potential for value. But the Minnesota quarter in particular is famous among collectors because of an error variety known as the extra tree, or extra bush variety. This error shows extra die, gouges, or marks in the design that make it look like there are additional trees in the background of the quarter's reverse. Some of these varieties are extremely rare, and depending on condition, they can sell anywhere from $50 to several $100s. For something that originally cost 25 cents, that is a massive increase in value and a thrilling find for anyone lucky enough to discover one in circulation. Another important factor that determines the value of a 2005 quarter is its mint mark and condition. Coins are struck at different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and collectors often seek out coins from all mints in pristine, uncirculated condition. For instance, a 2005 quarter graded MS-68 or MS-69 by professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because such high grades are incredibly hard to find. Most coins in circulation have scratches, nicks, or signs of wear that bring down their grade, so a perfect or near-perfect specimen is considered a gem. Proof coins, which were struck at the San Francisco Mint, can also be highly valuable when found in deep cameo or perfect proof 70 condition. These are specially struck coins with mirror-like finishes and sharp details, originally sold to collectors in sets. If you have one of these and it grades perfectly, it could easily bring a premium far beyond face value sometimes. People are confused when they hear about a quarter from 1858 selling for a high price. And that is because 1858 was a year when the U.S. Mint was still striking seated Liberty quarters. Those older coins are highly collectible today and can sell for thousands depending on condition and rarity, especially if they are in uncirculated condition. While 1858 and 2005 are separated by nearly 150 years, collectors often talk about both eras because they represent two very different but equally fascinating chapters of American coinage history. In this video, we are focusing primarily on the 2005 issues, but it is important to understand that the long tradition of quarter-dollar production adds historical weight to these modern coins, making them appealing to both casual finders and serious numismatists. What makes the search for a valuable 2005 quarter so exciting is the element of surprise. You could be checking your change at a grocery store or rolling coins to take to the bank and suddenly spot something unusual. Maybe the strike looks doubled, maybe there's a missing detail, or maybe the coin looks brand new despite being 20 years old. All of these little clues could indicate you have a rare variety or a high-grade survivor. Some collectors even hunt through bank rolls. This is called coin roll hunting, where they purchase rolls of quarters from banks and search through hundreds of coins looking for these rare pieces. It can be tedious, but when you find a Minnesota extra tree variety or a Kansas In God We Rust error quarter, it makes the hunt worth it. Yes, you heard that right. The Kansas quarter has a famous error where part of the motto, "In God We Trust," is missing, making it read, "In God We Rust." This is due to grease or debris filling in part of the die during the striking process. And collectors love quirky errors like this. The market for these coins is also influenced by supply and demand. As more people get into coin collecting, the demand for rare coins increases and their prices rise. Auction houses and online marketplaces such as eBay have reported strong sales for 2005 quarters with significant errors or high grades. Some have even crossed the $1,000 mark, which is impressive for a coin that millions of people overlook every single day. The beauty of this hobby is that anyone can participate. You don't need to be an expert to start looking through your change or buying a magnifying glass and checking the details. Many great discoveries have been made by beginners who are just curious enough to take a closer look. One of the reasons I love talking about coins like the 2005 quarter is that they connect us with history. Every coin tells a story where it was made, what it represents, and how it has traveled through countless hands over the years. The state quarter program itself was meant to educate Americans about the history and culture of each state. And in a way, these rare and valuable coins continue to educate us by showing the intricacies of the minting process, the importance of quality control, and the passion collectors have for even the smallest details. When you hold a rare quarter in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of change, you're holding a tiny artifact of American history. So, whether you're a seasoned collector with albums full of coins, or just someone who is curious about what makes a coin valuable, the 2005 quarter dollar series offers an incredible opportunity to learn and maybe even profit. Check your change, visit coin shows, and keep your eyes open for those unusual details that set valuable coins apart from the rest. With a little patience and attention to detail, you just might find one of these hidden treasures and join the ranks of those lucky few who turn a common coin into a rare collectible worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The next up, the 1999 Georgia quarter dollar, which celebrates the year 1788 when Georgia became the fourth state to join the Union. The Georgia state quarter is part of the first 5 state quarters ever released in 1999, making it an important piece for collectors. Its design is elegant and symbolic, featuring a beautifully detailed peach, the state fruit of Georgia, encircled by live oak sprigs, and the state motto, wisdom, justice, moderation. This quarter is not just a small piece of metal. It represents the heritage, pride, and history of the peach state. But what makes some of these coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars is not just the design, but the minting errors, rarity, and condition that make them highly collectible. Today we will take you through the history, key features, errors, and market values of the most expensive Georgia quarters. So stay tuned until the very end, because some of these prices will blow your mind. Let's start with a little history. The United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program in 1999 to honor each of the 50 states in the order they joined the Union, and Georgia was part of the very first batch alongside Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Connecticut. This was an exciting time for collectors because the program was a fresh idea that brought millions of Americans into coin collecting for the first time. The Georgia quarter was minted in 3 different facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, producing coins with P, D, and S mint marks. The circulation strike coins from Philadelphia and Denver were meant for everyday use, while the San Francisco Mint produced both clad-proof and silver-proof versions for collectors. The silver-proof versions, made of 90% silver, are especially desirable when found in perfect condition, graded PR70 by PCGS or NGC. These coins can sell for hundreds of dollars because flawless proofs are rare to come by, even in modern coinage. What really grabs the attention of collectors, though, are the rare mint errors associated with the Georgia quarter. One of the most famous is the off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the blank planchet visible. Depending on how dramatic the off-center strike is, these coins can sell anywhere from $50 to over $1,000 at auction. Another rare and exciting variety is the double die error, where parts of the design, such as the lettering in Georgia, wisdom, justice, moderation, or even the peach outline, appear doubled under magnification. These are much rarer, and when found in high-grade mint state condition, they can easily reach several $100s in value. There are also some Georgia quarters struck on the wrong planchet, for example, a quarter struck on a nickel or dime planchet, and these types of mint errors are extremely rare and can sell for thousands of dollars because they are essentially one-of-a-kind mistakes that slip past the mint's quality control. Condition plays a huge role in determining how much a Georgia quarter is worth. A regular 1999 Georgia quarter that you might find in your pocket change is worth 25 cents. But if you find one that is in uncirculated mint state condition, especially graded MS-67 or MS-68 by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, its value skyrockets. High-grade Georgia quarters have been known to sell for over $1,500 at auction. The highest grade ever certified for this coin is MS-69, and these top population coins are incredibly rare and highly desirable among registry set collectors who compete to build the finest possible sets. For them, paying thousands of dollars for a coin like this is not unusual, because it could mean having the #1 ranked set in the world. Let's also talk about the silver-proof Georgia quarters, because they're a favorite among collectors who appreciate the classic look of 90% silver coins. A PR70 deep cameo silver-proof Georgia quarter can sell for several $100s today. The deep cameo designation means the coin has strong frosted design elements that contrast beautifully with the mirror-like background fields, making it a true showpiece. When these coins are still in their original government packaging as part of the 1999 silver-proof set, they carry a premium as well. Though individual coins that are graded perfect PR70 are the real winners when it comes to value, the market for Georgia quarters continues to be strong, especially as younger collectors who grew up during the 50-state quarters program are now adults with disposable income and nostalgia for these coins. This has increased demand for top-quality examples and rare error coins. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers regularly feature these coins, and bidding can get very competitive. In some cases, record-setting prices have been achieved for Georgia quarters in high grades or with dramatic errors. This proves that even modern coins can be a great investment if you know what to look for. So, what should you do if you want to hunt for valuable Georgia quarters? First, check your pocket change and coin jars for any 1999 Georgia quarters that look unusually sharp or well-struck. If you find one in great condition, consider sending it to a grading service for authentication and grading. Look closely under magnification for doubling, unusual marks, or anything that seems out of the ordinary, because that could be a valuable error. If you're buying from a dealer or online auction, always verify the authenticity and grading before spending a lot of money, and stick to trusted sellers. In conclusion, the 1999 Georgia quarter is much more than just a common coin. It's a piece of history, a collectible item, and in some cases, a small treasure that could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on its condition, mint mark, and whether it has any rare errors. Collectors love this coin because it represents one of the first steps in one of the most successful coin programs ever launched by the United States Mint. If you have one of these coins lying around, take a second, look, you never know. You might be holding one of the most expensive Georgia quarters ever made. Coin collecting is not just a hobby. It's a way to connect with history and sometimes even make a profit along the way. So keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, your next find could be the rare gem that makes your collection truly extraordinary. The 1999 quarter is not just any ordinary coin you may find in your pocket change. It is a part of the iconic 50-state quarters program, which started in 1999 and ran until 2008. This coin series is one of the most popular programs ever launched by the U.S. Mint and was designed to celebrate the unique history and heritage of every state. But among all the millions of quarters minted that year, there are some very rare and valuable ones that collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars to own, and in some special cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. In this video, we will explore what makes the 1999 quarter so special, what unique errors and varieties make it stand out, and how much these coins have sold for in the auction market. Let's first talk about why the year 1999 was so important for the United States Mint. This was the very first year of the 50-state quarters program, and it set off a collecting frenzy across America. Millions of people started looking at their change more closely than ever before. Quarters honoring Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut were all minted and released to the public in 1999. Because these were the first 5 coins in the series, a lot of collectors wanted to grab them fresh from circulation. The designs were beautiful and distinct, and the coinage represented a new chapter in modern U.S. history. However, what most people don't realize is that some of these coins came with mint errors that were not supposed to happen, And those are the ones that can be worth a small fortune today. One of the most famous and valuable examples is the 1999 P. Delaware State quarter struck on the wrong planchet. A planchet is simply the blank metal disc used to strike a coin, and in some cases, the U.S. Mint accidentally struck these quarters on planchets intended for other coins such as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the Sacagawea dollar, or even on foreign coin planchets. This means you can have a quarter that is slightly larger, made of a different metal composition, and much rarer than a regular quarter. Some of these have sold at auction for well over $10,000, depending on condition. Collectors love these off-metal errors because they are incredibly scarce and represent a true mistake in the minting process. Another fascinating variety from 1999 is the so-called experimental planchet, or transitional quarter. These were struck on planchets that were being tested for the Sacagawea dollar before its release in 2000. These quarters have a gold or brass appearance instead of a normal silver-colored cupronickel clad composition. They look very different, and because they're few in number, they are highly desirable. When one of these golden-colored 1999 quarters appears in an auction, it often sparks a bidding war among serious collectors. We also have to talk about double dies and other striking errors from 1999. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck by a die that has been improperly manufactured, resulting in parts of the design appearing doubled. This can often be seen in the letters or numbers of the coin, like the date or the word Liberty. These double die quarters are much harder to find than regular coins and can be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of a 1999 quarter. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they have never been circulated and shown no signs of wear, can sell for dramatically more than coins that have been used in daily transactions. Professional grading services like PeaceGS and NGC give coins numerical grades, and the highest possible grade is MS-70. A 1999 quarter graded MS-67 or higher can already be worth a nice premium. But if you find one that reaches MS-69 or MS-70, you're looking at a coin that could be valued in the thousands. This is why many collectors go through rolls of quarters from the bank, searching for that one perfect example. Now, let's dive deeper into some record auction results. For instance, one of the most valuable 1999 quarters ever sold was a Delaware State quarter struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin. This incredible error coin fetched well over $17,000 at auction. Another high-profile sale involved a Georgia State quarter that was graded MS-69 by PCGS, one of only a handful known at that grade level. It sold for several $1,000s because collectors are always willing to pay a premium for top-graded coins to complete their registry sets. The historical significance of the date 1788 is also worth mentioning because it adds another layer of meaning to the coin. The year 1788 represents the year that states like Georgia, Connecticut, and New Jersey ratified the U.S. Constitution, officially joining the Union. This makes the coin not just a piece of currency, but also a miniature piece of American history. Many collectors appreciate this connection and feel proud to own a coin that celebrates such an important milestone. So, how can you find one of these valuable 1999 quarters? The first step is to check your change carefully. Even today, some of these coins are still out there waiting to be discovered. Look for anything unusual, such as a different color, a different weight, or strange markings on the coin. If you suspect you have something rare, you can weigh the coin using a digital scale, and you can also compare it to a regular quarter to see if there are any differences. If it appears unusual, it's worth sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might stumble across a rare and valuable coin in your pocket change. The 1999 quarter series opened the door for millions of Americans to start paying attention to coins again. And because of the errors and varieties, it has become one of the most studied and collected series in modern numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, learning about these coins can be both fun and potentially profitable. As we wrap up this deep dive into the most expensive 1999 quarter-dollar coins, I hope you have gained a new appreciation for how much history and value can be packed into a small piece of metal. Remember, the next time you get change from a store, take a moment to look closely at your quarters. You might just be holding a coin worth hundreds,